Geometry Dash 2.0 was released on the 26th of August 2015. This update came with 4 new colors, 16 new cubes, 7 new ships, 8 new balls, 8 new UFOs, 12 new waves, and a whole new game mode called the Robot with customization with 6 designs for that. And as a side note, 2 new trails were added, which is the first time that extra trails were ever added in an update. When it comes to the big changes, we'll get to the little changes, but when it comes to the big ones, we have 2 new levels, Geometrical Dominator and a brand new demon level, which is the last demon that we've yet to receive from RobTop as of making this video, Deadlocked. Furthermore, we have the Robot game mode, which we previously hinted towards, moving objects, custom objects, teleportation portals, user coin system, user profile pages, friend and messaging systems, friend leaderboards, over 50 new achievements. Now, as I've mentioned, when it comes to a lot of my previous videos, I'm not too familiar with the editor, so this is just going to be completely script when I mention what I'm about to mention. Toggle, alpha, pulse, and spawn triggers were added. We have object groups up to 999. We have custom Z layering. We have the editor preview mode and unlimited color channels. Geometrical Dominator starts off with quite lackluster coloring, and then as soon as the music slowly ramps up at the very beginning, the colors start popping right at you. The reason why I emphasize that out of anything is because we have to understand what 2.0 was. I know I spoke about it in the intro, but I'm gonna talk about it again. When people saw the colors, the moving objects, the different types of enemies, like I know that they're not bosses, but like people had their world just flipped right upside down. Now, when it comes to the actual gameplay itself, it's very simplistic. Now, I'm gonna let simplistic gameplay slide because not only do we have to get used to moving objects like walls opening up for us, which was at the time a massive game changer, but we also get introduced to the robot. So imagine this as a reset, a cultural reset for Geometry Dash. We have to start at the very beginning, or at least we had to if you refer to 2015. The ship gameplay here, once again, very simplistic. We're just getting used to these levels just being alive, having personality to them, the brand new decorations, and once again, I'll keep on saying it, moving objects. We go into the dungeon, moving objects. We go back and forth with different types of gameplay, and then boom, the robot once again. Rainbows everywhere, colors everywhere, the music's going crazy, the coin selections are awesome. I'm a big fan of the coins on this level. And overall, this level, I mean, it's outrageous. It gets a pass for looking like a magic tab level because purely that's simply what it's meant to be. It's meant to be outrageous. It's not meant to make sense. I mean, look at this. Why are there black and white bars moving across the bottom here? Has anyone even acknowledged that in a video before? Listen, the gameplay, I can't specifically break it down because this isn't a level like Deadlock. This is just a harder level overall, but something that everyone hates on this level by the sounds of things is what's about to come up. This section right here is easily the most memorization when it comes to RobTop's levels. It's not necessarily difficult in my opinion. People overrate the difficulty, although what it was for the time and new players, because how would new players be able to experience what it was before they even played the game, of course, this invisible area, I like to call it invisible, I don't even know if that's the right term, it really has people on edge. People don't know if this level deserves insane because of this whole segment alone. I personally don't think so, but the fact that it's an argument is crazy. After we leave that super polarizing section, we have a nice little wave, and then after that we have a key system to be able to unlock the moving objects, similar to this area with the ball. Watching YouTubers playing this area for myself, I was blown away. 2.0 was crazy with the shock value that I had at first play. And we have this ship segment, once again, an awesome coin to end off the level, and then we have a robot just to solidify the gameplay to make sure that it could be a choke point, but it's more just to say that it used the robot more and more because it was new at the time. Deadlock starts off with some pretty simple cube design and then hits you straight away with a mini wave. Unheard of, right? But no. Then we also have green rings, but I'm just going to call them orbs, which they're unofficially called because why would you call them rings? They don't even look close. On top of that, we also have to get used to teleport gameplay, which I'll mention later down the line in this video because I am pretty strong on why teleports are used differently nowadays. Then this transitions us into one of the most controversial parts of a RobTop top level, which is the beginning wave, which I'm a strong believer, despite being a bit better at the game nowadays, that it's much harder than it actually looks. And this is coming from someone that was playing mobile all the way up until 2.1 when that came out. So I know on an inferior platform that this is much easier than it actually looks. I cannot emphasize that enough. I don't believe that this is opinionated, I believe it's fact. This is an overrated section difficulty wise. Once you get pushed out of that wave section, we have a really funky looking ship segment. Partnered with that, we have a key to unlock a coin further down the line. Pretty common practice nowadays if it's even used, because I believe that Rob thought that this was going to be used much more than it actually is nowadays, but still, for the time, this is a crazy coin wave. Not too much to talk about here, I mean it's just a memorization segment, and then shout out Eric Van Wilderman with his click pattern for this UFO right here. Decoration wise, I'm not too big on this segment right here, where you need to show click discipline when it comes to holding in different ways for the robot. I don't think that the decoration here is that good. Is this out of line for someone that doesn't create levels? Talking about myself here? Absolutely, but it's my video, so I'm going to talk about it anyways. I can't stand to have a segment that doesn't include hate. I'm sorry guys. Jokes aside, I'm a very big fan of this ball section right here when it comes to the speed changes and the teleport gameplay, which once again I will mention after I'm done discussing Deadlocked, because the way that teleports are used in this level, they feel kind of forced and they feel way different than how teleports are used nowadays. After that, we say hello to the coin that we got from the key in the mini ship segment, and then we have the teleport gameplay with different blue orbs that we can use. I'm a big fan of this section right here. I believe that it plays flawlessly and I believe that it plays smoothly. Rob comes out of nowhere to use the new text that was added in this update to say that he likes this part, and I don't. It looks quite ugly at times, and once again, which will make sense later down the line, I believe that the teleport portals are abused here. This has not aged that well in my opinion. I understand that it's an iconic section because of the whole I like this part with the smiley face, but when it comes to actually what it is, not the biggest fan. It's not bad, but I'm just not the biggest fan. You know what I am a fan of though? Ooh, this UFO section is heat, baby. Big fan of the coin, big fan of what the hell's going on here with the monsters, which were new for 2.0. This is an iconic section for good reason here. It's not a nostalgic value. Yeah, nostalgia can push when it's a decade old level, but for the actual gameplay, big fan. We have an absolute choke point, especially for when I did play this level on mobile, because my CPS was just terrible at the time, and I still probably can't even play mobile to this day. Then that transitions us into a memorization ship, which I don't see too many people even talking about to begin with, although it hasn't been awfully positive. I'm not too big with that. I don't hate it and I don't love it either. When it comes to the ball transitioning to the UFO here, I believe that this section has aged very poorly. I understand, moving objects, we have to get used to the different ways that they can be used. Although when it comes to the decoration and just what Deadlocked had prior to this section is very lackluster, and once again, it's a section that I don't believe has aged that well. Now, when it comes to the ending cube section, it's the last 10% of a RobTop level. You're not necessarily looking for difficulty here, you're just looking for a smooth transition as you finally conclude the level, and I believe that that's just what it is. Nothing too crazy is happening here, although it's not lackluster either, so I have to appreciate this section no matter what. I mean, it's not that big of a deal, it's just simply an observation. I mean, here we have Finger Dash, where teleports are only used at the very beginning. Here we have some random place in Dash, where I don't even think that you guys would have remembered that teleports were even used, because what I've picked up on is that with the new tools that we've seen now with 2.1 and of course 2.2, they're more just seamless transitions rather than gameplay choices. Yeah, teleports will be used to transition us into a whole new segment of a level because there simply couldn't be a seamless transition. Well, more talking about the levels that weren't 2.2 orientated, but now that we're in 2.2, I think that teleport gameplay is slowly fizzled out completely. Anyways, that's going to be it for today's video, everyone. Thank you for the members that have been supporting the channel so far, and I would just like to apologize for the somewhat lackluster uploads compared to what I'm used to. I've simply just been very busy. Did I not mention something that 2.0 added that you're a big fan of? Either I'm not educated on it because it's an editing tool, or I just thought it would have been filler in the context of this video. Thanks for watching.